Here is a 2023 BMW X3 M40i in Brooklyn Gray Metallic over Takara Perforated Syntec Interior. This is the sweet spot when you're not wanting to get a full M and you're wanting to save around $20,000 with the packages in which we have optioned in this vehicle. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and the M40i starts off with the Shadowline exterior trim. LED headlights and daytime runnings, the gloss black elements that will highlight the front of the grille, the side mirror caps that's M spec, the window treatment, roof rails, and the lower aggressive bumper. It's going to be more box structured because BMW is making it more corporate across all the lines. So all the X series will have the same stance in the front. This one will sit a little bit lower with clearance at 7.2 inches, and they've kept performance underneath the hood. And what I mean by that, you're getting a 3.0 liter M twin power turbo inline 6-cylinder, producing 382 horsepower and 365 pound-feet of torque paired to the ZF 8-speed automatic transmission, achieving 21 mpgs for the city and 26 mpgs for the highway. You are going to lose over 120 horsepower if you're comparing this to the M competition, which adds 30 horsepower more than the standard M for the X3. But the performance numbers that you're getting, it's reaching 60 at 4.4 seconds. When you go into the full M, you're just under 4 seconds. So 0.5 to 0.6 seconds is not necessarily something that's going to make me change my mind if I'm saving $20,000+, especially considering I got the 21-inch M multi-spoke alloy wheels, M brakes with the red brake calipers. That's 4 pistons housed in the front. So I'm still getting the performance with the M-Tune suspension. I'm not getting the M-Tune X drive, but I still get the all-wheel drive system implemented here, in which you can receive up to 100% power to the rear wheel when you get into the M. Going into the competition, the Audi SQ5 will have 33 horsepower less than this, and it beats it by 0.1 second. Mercedes AMG GLE 53, it's not necessarily compared against this, but you're increasing 47 horsepower and it's slower than this. So you're getting a price savings, and the same thing with the Porsche Macan S. That's going to have 7 horsepower less and slower than this. You'd have to go to a GTS to beat this vehicle by 0.1 second. So this is what I mean by a sweet spot, because it's not a full-blown M, and you're still getting performance that can go against rivals just like that. LED taillights, the lower bumper becomes more aggressive when you get into the M competition, towing up to 4,400 pounds, and a payload goes over 900 pounds when you're in the M40. Power liftgate going into 28.7 cubic feet. Even though the clearance is at 7.2 inches, it's still an easy access to get inside. 12-volt charger underneath the floor, which opens up quite a bit, and a storage nook here on the side. Split fold the rear bench if you're tall like me in the back at a 60-40 split with a pass-through that will maximize cargo to 62.7 cubic feet, max towing at 4,400 pounds with a payload at 915 pounds. We need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. 14-way power seat adjustments, heated, perforated, contrast stitching, manual cushion extensions for the front occupants, memory for the driver. Headroom starts off with no issues in the front, nor is leg space because it is a deep footwell for the front occupants. The X3 has the carbon fiber for this M40i. Satin aluminum that's going to wrap around the rest of the vehicle, dual climate control settings, 12.3 touchscreen with navigation, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. Put it into reverse and we have a 360-degree reverse camera, full trajectory for both the front and the rear, auto parking, backup assist, and my favorite feature when I can click onto it, the 3D, which you can either click onto the icons or use the iDrive and just go all around the vehicle. And going into the car wash is also easy because we have full trajectory. Working underneath, we get the M badging. Open up in here, wireless charging pad, USB 12 volt, and the key fob, which has the M logo. iDrive mouse, matte black, and the gloss black will be on the shifter. It's going to be more sporty, which you would expect. It's a pretty deep storage pocket with a card holder and a USB port. M Spec 3-spoke leather wrap steering wheel, multi-function and heated with the paddle shifters, 12.3 digital gauge cluster that can go through an array of information for the driver when you hit the BC button on the stock right here. And when you change the modes, it will get a little bit more athletic. And the same thing for the heads-up display. It will change the color scheme for the driving modes. Harman Kardon comes into play with the carbon fiber and the ambient lighting. More sporty, one touch up and down for all the windows, and the storage pocket can fit a couple of beverages, which it's carved out. A large panel moonroof that goes to the back seats. The back seats recline, which I have it in a reclined position. I'm not slouching, I just want to relax. Headroom is not going to be an issue for someone tall like me, nor is leg space. You have storage behind both of the front seats, which will not be the case in the M3 in the M competition. Third climate control, USB ports, and air vents in the center. The cup holders here, and it's going to be more sporty with the door panel that gets the ambient lighting and the carbon fiber. X badging, it's going to be more sporty where you rest your arms. Storage pocket has a couple of beverages carved out. It's basically the same as the front. The floor is not completely flat, but sliding over, the rails are pushed up enough. You will be sharing some feet space, but not so much, and the same thing for butt and shoulder space. I have the seat positioned back, headroom is still not an issue, and if I fold the seats up more upright, still not an issue. 91 horsepower less than the standard M. 0.5 seconds slower than that at 4.4 seconds. That would be 3.9 seconds, and 121 horsepower less than the M competition. But let's see what 4.4 seconds looks like right now. I can tell you, it's fast and fun. Blended in. The weight distribution will be a little bit less than the X3M competition, but it's just about a point off, which means it's still athletic. And at a 60 grand price point, look at the exit. And that's what I mean. It's just a well blended off vehicle. I mean, you're getting top speeds that's fast in an everyday SUV blended in. It's going to take me to some pros and cons, and starting off with is what I like about the M40i. The sweet spot, because you're getting over 380 horsepower, and it ticks the box in the sense of interior space. You have ability to tow in this, and you have a better payload in this. When you're comparing to the rivals, most of the rivals are going to be a minimum of $10,000 or even $20,000 more. The only thing that's really close to this is the SQ5, in which it beats it by 0.1 second, and this does have over 30 horsepower more than that. But I mean, 0.1 second is not going to be a huge difference, and you're still going to see savings. And this is going to look a little bit more sporty in the interior, where that one's going to look a little bit more older because the refresh is coming soon. Some cons about the vehicle: it can escalate to near $70,000 if you fully spec this vehicle out, in which you're almost at an X3M. So you might as well just spend the extra few $1,000s and get that 91 horsepower more. But then when you're at that point, I think it's about $3,000–$4,000 more to get the competition, which adds 30 more horsepower, and it increases the torque also. So it's really hard to say get this vehicle fully loaded, and that's pretty much the point that I'm getting at, or the con. If you spec it out like this, it's not bad because you're still in that $60,000 price point, and you still get the thrills and the luxury blended in. This is in comfort. Upgraded 21-inch wheels. You're gonna feel a little bit of the imperfections. The seat in this will be more comfortable than the M, because that one's going to be a lot more firm, as well as the suspension setup. So there is some pluses and negatives when you're considering going up that tier. But again, if you get this fully loaded, it's kind of a no-brainer. I guess the only major cons that you could really nitpick out of this is it's going to be a more firm ride, and it's just more towards sport than it captures some of the luxury. Whereas when you get into some other variants, you may have more luxury amenities, but you're not going to get the performance. It really is hard to capture all in one package. And BMW, I think they do a pretty decent job in the sense of giving you both of that. We're gonna put it into Sport Plus. Turn radius gets about 2 lanes, and let's rock and roll. And that's what I mean by that daily dose of performance. Whenever I'm talking about BMWs, and most of my reviews, I really stress how dynamically correct they are, in the sense of getting so close to the weight distribution at a perfect 50-50, giving you the fun drive. It's going to be firm, but it still has an everyday drive blended in. But let me know your thoughts in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2023 BMW X3 M40i for our car review.